The first sound that cut through the marble lobby was not the echo of footsteps or the whisper of moneyed air, but the sharp humiliation of a man being reduced to nothing in front of his child, a single father standing with tired shoulders and ink-stained hands, watching his small son clutch his sleeve as the word illiterate landed like a slap. In that moment, under chandeliers that never flickered and security cameras that never blinked, a life balanced on the edge between breaking and becoming something else, and the world did not yet know which way it would fall. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories where broken moments turn into brave beginnings, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel Bright Hearts. Your support keeps stories like this alive. He had not always been invisible. Once, he had been a boy who loved numbers and the smell of rain on chalk dust, a boy who stayed late to erase boards for teachers who smiled at him. Life had narrowed since then. The factory closed. The mother of his child left behind a note that tried to sound like mercy. Reading had always come slowly to him, words blurring when fear pressed in, and fear had pressed in for years. Yet he worked. He stacked shelves at night, fixed bicycles on weekends, and learned routes of buses like poetry. He read labels by color and shape, contracts by trust, and the world rarely forgave him for it. He raised his son with gentleness and stories told from memory, with hands that knew how to mend scraped knees and hearts. They lived in a small apartment that smelled of soap and fried onions, where the window whistled in winter and the floor remembered every step. Love lived there, quiet and determined. The day everything cracked open began with hope. There was a job interview in a tower that touched the clouds, a maintenance position that promised stability and a uniform with a name stitched correctly. He wore his cleanest shirt, the one that made his son laugh because it smelled like lemon. In the lobby, polished stone reflected faces that had never been told no. Forms were placed in front of him, words marching like soldiers across the page. His hands shook. He asked for help in the only way he knew, by explaining that he could do the work, that he had done harder work, that he just needed someone to read the questions. The response came like thunder dressed as authority, loud enough for everyone to hear, heavy with contempt. The billionaire owner happened to be there, anger sharpened by impatience, pride fueled by a lifetime of being obeyed. The insult fell, and with it fell the illusion that effort alone could protect dignity. His son saw it all. Children understand more than we admit, especially when injustice takes shape in front of them. The boy's eyes searched his father's face for an answer to a question too big for his age. The father did not explode. He did not bow. He gathered his papers, gathered his child, and walked out with a back that trembled but did not break. Outside, the city roared like it always did, indifferent to small tragedies. On the bus ride home, silence stretched. That night, after his son slept, the father sat at the small table and let the pain come. It came as heat behind the eyes, as a tightening in the chest, as memories of classrooms where letters danced away. It also came as resolve, quiet and stubborn. Change did not arrive dressed as a miracle. It arrived as a flyer taped crookedly at the laundromat, offering adult literacy classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It arrived as the patience of a volunteer teacher who believed that shame had no place in learning. It arrived as nights when exhaustion begged him to quit, and he did not. He traced letters with a pencil worn short, sounding out words like prayers. His son did homework beside him, their heads bent together like conspirators. Progress was slow, then suddenly not so slow. Words began to hold still. Sentences opened doors. He learned to read his son's favorite book aloud, and the boy's laughter filled the room like sunlight. Confidence grew not as arrogance, but as grounding, as the knowledge that no one could take effort away once given. The city, meanwhile, shifted in ways he could not see yet. The billionaire's empire was built on speed and silence, on contracts signed too quickly and people who never spoke back. An investigation began elsewhere, sparked by a worker brave enough to write a letter. Words matter. The father kept learning. He applied for jobs again, this time with help filling forms, then alone. Rejection came and went. He fixed more bicycles. He saved a little. He volunteered at the community center, translating patience into presence.